Okay, here as we are, we come down to the lower level of the house and turn around the stairs here, and this is the entertainment center. It is 9.5 feet long, 7 feet tall, out of solid walnut, clear walnut, no knots, and continuous board. So that wall panel, the part against the wall, there are no seams in it other than horizontal seams. There's no vertical seams, no two boards put together there. You see how the carpet is nicely tucked in around it. Get a little bit closer up with that. The carpet just tucks nicely in up against it. All the way through. And on the top part of the wall, there's a stainless steel strip. And there's a second stainless steel strip just above the cabinet itself. Now if we go into the cabinet, you can see on the back side there are some vents that are cut. Use my CNC to cut that to make those nice and even, and for ventilation of the cabinets for the stereo equipment. And then there's a center hole there with a slot that allows for the passing of cables to the TV, power, HDMI, Ethernet, whatever you want to do there. And on the cabinet itself, you can see that the grain of the cabinet comes up the side, and it's a continuous grain that runs right across the top. Comes all the way across. Nice little character on the top. And then we'll see the grain that comes back down around the side over here. Okay. If I come back up over here, some more of the wallboard. There was some custom audio ports we had to create. Got a neighbor down the street that has a lathe, and we designed to come up with these audio ports that allow the audio cables to pass through, so the wires run behind the wall. The owner found some really nice audio cable that is brown and black. It blends in with the cabinet really nice. Okay, now I'll show you some of the interior of the cabinet. Let's start with the doors here. Looking at the doors, there are 3 doors. The left cabinet door is a hinged door. The center one is like a speaker panel. It clips in and clips out. And then there's the rightmost door, which would be just like the left one, but we've got the panel out of it right now for sanding, so we can get it ready for stain. The doors that swing open, you can see the top frame piece here. The grain continues across into the other one, and the same thing happens down on the end. The grain continues through. These hinges, these doors, we wanted to get a door that had a full access, so we found hinges that would open up to 155 degrees. So it opens up quite nicely to a nice wide angle and full access to the cabinet. These hinges are also soft close, so I can push it and they will get started and it will close. It won't slam, it'll just slowly close. The hinges are also removable, no tools needed to remove them. I'm not going to actually remove it, but there's a little clip in the back here. You pop that free, the clip comes right off. You do that in the second hinge and the door comes right off. They pop right back on just as easily. On the left cabinet, there's a phonograph tray that is removable. It's not on a slide or anything. It's going to have them little felt pads on the bottom to make it slide so it doesn't scratch the cabinet. And you can see it's got box joints on here to give it a little bit of character. And a solid walnut too. Then you've got a shelf here. This is also removable. It's got a little indentation here That allows for any cables that you want to run through and to allow air to move through. That slot is both the front and back of the shelf. In the shelf clips, you can see they've got little rubber felt or pads on them to avoid the vibration. And then you've got the drawer here. If I pull this out, you can see there is no hardware visible. It's all concealed underneath the drawer. And the drawer is a dovetail joint on the end, and it is solid walnut. These drawers are also removable. There's a little clip here. You press this and release it. And you do the same thing on the other side. If I can release it. Now the drawer will just lift right out. To put it back in, set the drawer on the tray. Push the drawer all the way in, you'll hear it snap. Hear it click there. There it goes. Okay. You pull it back out, it's all the way in. The drawers are full suspension, so you have full access to everything in the drawer. They are also a soft close, self-closing. If I push it, let me try that again so you can see it. I will just push it, and it will finish closing and close softly. And likewise with the door, again. The left cabinet that doesn't have the screen on it right now is the same way. Drawer, self-closing, no visible hardware, and solid walnut, dovetail joint. Okay, and the shelf is the same as the other side. It's got the little notch there, sitting on clips. And also, all these shelves and the drawers are adjustable by 1.25 inch increments. And you can put all these shelves on one side, or you can split them up into combinations. The cabinet is designed where they are interchangeable. Okay. Now let's get into the center channel, how this one removes. This one, there are little thumb pulls down at the bottom, little finger pulls. You just grab hold of it and they pop out. It takes 11 pounds of pressure to pop each one out. Just pop it out on all four corners. Okay, and you can see that there's the subwoofer that is sitting on the concrete floor. And there's another shelf in here. This is a fixed shelf. It is not adjustable, where the center channel sits on it. And the clips for pressing them in, or for holding the panel. And there's the female part. And here's the male part. There's a story behind that. They didn't come the color we wanted them, and I had to figure out how to dye them. And I figured out how to do that. Something else I want to point out. You can't see it, but in this center mullion here, there is lead inside here. The owner was very specific about trying to avoid any kind of resonance when the stereo system was playing. And the way you do that is to create as much mass as you can. So we put lead in both this side, in between here, between the two halves, there's a sheet of lead in there. And on the other side here, there's another sheet of lead in this side. We did not put it on the top or the back because we're concerned about the ability to use any kind of RF equipment with it. So we left the front open and the top and the back. Then the other thing we did for mass was on the bottom of the cabinet, both the right side and the left side, there's an additional 1.5 inch thick layer of MDF that provides even more mass. So this thing got to be quite heavy when we got done. The door panels were the most interesting thing for me to work on this project. Interesting fun facts. There are over 281,000 lines of code. The router bit travels 30,000 inches, just under a half mile, and it took 26 hours of machine time to cut it. You can see in this picture the size of the letters in relation to a typical key. And for the rest of this video, I'm just going to play a little bit of the CNC cutting out the letters in the door panel. The bit has to go through each set of letters 4 times, getting a 1/16 inch deeper each time. If I go any more than that, the bit breaks. So this video will complete this set of letters and then start the next set of letters.